I'm so pleased that we have our next guest coming on, because you all know, as long as I'm doing a show, I will do a military, police, and firefighter salute. They deserve it. I think there's certain people that need to be honored and deserve. And anyone wearing a uniform, certainly in this day and age, needs to be honored and praised for what they do when they wear that uniform. So please make welcome for the first time to the show, Sheriff Gene Kelly, everybody.
Great job.
You know what I was thinking, Sheriff Gene? Do I call you Sheriff or Gene?
Either one.
Either
I'll
one.
answer
Okay.
to either
Gene,
one.
okay?
I tell you, my new best friend here, we've got an opportunity to talk, and I love Dean and the band. I tell you, they are from Clark County, Springfield, Ohio, and home base there.
Yeah.
And they're just fabulous. So I appreciate the opportunity to come down to Dayton and spend some time with you.
I see you on the tube all the time. I see Sheriff Gene Kelly on the tube. I'd like to find out how it all began with you.
Well, I actually started out in high school. I wanted to, before it was called exploring, it was a junior police cadet, and then I got hired at the Springfield Police Department in 1972 as a police cadet, and I went to Clark State, got my associate degree. I became a police officer. I actually served after the tornado in Xenia, and I was hired there in 1975, and I was a Xenia police officer until 1979, and then I got an opportunity to go back to Springfield. I went back to Springfield, and one of my greatest accomplishments, and the job that I really, really enjoyed, still do to this day, I walked the beat. And for 4 years, I walked the beat in, I guess, unique neighborhoods, old neighborhoods of Springfield, on Selma Road, Yellow Spring Street. Downtown, I had North Hill and Snyder Terrace, and to this day, just yesterday, people from the old neighborhood where I walked the beat called me about a problem, and their children still call me about problems, and I think that's one of my greatest, I guess, accomplishments, is staying in contact and helping people. So then I was a police officer after that, and was a detective. And then in 1987, my predecessor, who had been with the Springfield Police Department, he'd been the chief in Xenia, he was like a father to me, he had been the sheriff, and he announced he was going to retire, and I told everybody I was going to run for sheriff. I was 33 years old, and nobody gave me a snowball's chance, and I won in 1987, and I've been in office, this is my 30th year, and I'm running for re-election again, and I still enjoy the work. I love what we can do in the community, and there is still much to be done, and I feel that it's a calling, and I want to continue in it.
You know, you're talking about walking the beat. When you do that and other officers, and all these little kids are standing around and you shake their hand, they need to see that. They need to feel that. And I'd like to see more of that in all the cities.
Well, that's my whole philosophy, is community policing.
That way.
I not only shook hands, I drank coffee in every house and every store. But, you know, in 2016, we have a substation in New Carlisle. We've got deputies there on the bicycles. We got an additional 2 deputies in Moorfield Township, and they are entrenched in the community. They're out. People know their names. Mad River Township in the Enon area, we've got the same deputy working every day out there. And in Bethel Township, the same deputy. That's community policing. People know who they are. In Clark County, most people, they call me Sheriff or they call me Gene. They know me that well, and they know that if they call, I will, if I have the opportunity, I will meet with them personally. I will try to address their problem, and that's what law enforcement today has to be about, solving problems and service.
And you've started some programs that I hear is very successful too.
You know, people talk about arresting people, and that's easy, but solving problems, you know, when people get arrested, they always get out of jail. When people go to prison, they always get out of prison. There's about 1/10 of 1% that spend their life in prison. So we've got a program in Clark County, reentry, and we've been helping people in the jail get their lives back together. We've got a cognitive behavioral therapy program. It's called Thinking for a Change. We're working with opportunities for individual change in our community. And just in June, we had 10 people. They got out of prison, they got out of jail. People would have probably given up on them, or they could have gone back to the previous way of life. But going through our program, they actually now have jobs, and they're working, and they're turning their lives around. And you know, a job is important to support a family, to be a dad. You know, we talk about the absent fathers, but if a father can't provide for his children, you know, he doesn't feel like much of a man. And so we are working with the fatherhood program in our jail. And what I believe we should do is take this opportunity. It was always called a house of correction, so why don't we make some corrections and turn people out better than when they came in?
Sounds great.
And that's what we're trying
Innovative.
to do.
Innovative.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. And how long have these programs been in?
We've actually had this program for 3 years. We started out, we got $1 million grant, and we have people in our jail, we have people in the community. Sir, we used to take people out of jail who wanted to get off of this deadly drug, heroin, and sometimes between the jail and going to treatment, they didn't make it, and they got back on the wrong path. And we were putting them in a patrol car and driving them for treatment. Well, now we have a probation officer who comes down to the jail, gets them after they've been screened. We take them for treatment. They get a shot of Vivitrol, this miracle drug, so for 30 days they can shoot heroin, it won't have any effect. They can drink alcohol, it won't have any effect. And during that 30 days, we got 30 days to get them into real treatment, to turn their lives around and to save them from themselves.
During this time, is that a halfway house? Do they stay
During
there?
that, no, we're building a inpatient men's and women's facility. It's out where the old community hospital was, there on Lexington Avenue. And you know, this epidemic is affecting everyone. There isn't anyone who doesn't know some family that's lost someone. So we're trying to do everything we can to fix broken people, to give them the opportunity to get the treatment they need, and to make our community better.
Well, I wish every police department followed your example. And you were just at the White House.
You know, on June the 30th, I was asked to come to the White House to talk about the President's policing in the 21st century, and law enforcement was there from across the country. And the chief of Trotwood was there, and the chief of Piqua was there, and we were the three from Southwest Ohio. But you know, when I left there, I felt so good that we in Ohio are doing so many of the right things, and all of these ideas that this task force came up with, all these, you know, initiatives, in Ohio we're doing them. And we are, I think, well poised to go into the 21st century. But then the tragedy in Dallas, and then the tragedy now in a Michigan courthouse, and that's why we're all wearing the sashes on our badges. And I hope as we go the second half of 2016 that we can get our communities coming together, that we can listen to Dean Sims and his song of we are all God's children, and we all need to come together and go forward in a, I guess, hand in hand, because we're not together now.
Well, I hope all those guys listened, because it sounds like it's being very successful. So I hope they all went back, yeah, that's Sheriff Gene Kelly. We should try this, what he's doing. And I hope that's what happened. They all listened. And
we are, you know, we're trying different things. They say if you always do what you've always done, you always get what you've gotten. And so far, we haven't gotten a lot of success. And so we got to try new things. And, you know, everybody wants to have a successful life. Nobody says, I want to grow up to be a heroin addict. They want to have a good life, and they just need some help along the way.
a little bit of help. We always said it takes a city to raise a child, not just one person.
That's true.
It takes a city or a community to raise a child. And you just kind of proved it right then and there. Thanks for coming.
Well, I'm
Really
proud to be
appreciate it.
here. Thank you.
And we're proud to have you here.
Thank
And
you.
thank again for wearing that uniform.